Friends, today we'll start from page number 60 of the topic of the chapter cell. So in this chapter, we have completed our before parts, all these three type of solution and all the activities. So today we'll start from page number 60, right hand side, below the activity 5.4. So now proceed. Unicellular freshwater organisms and most plant cells tend to gain water through osmosis. Absorption of water roots by plant roots is also an example of osmosis. So in this paragraph, it is telling that all the unicellular freshwater organism means all the single-celled organism which live in the fresh water like ponds, river, etc. And not only the unicellular freshwater organism, rather than that, the plant cell also they have the capacity to gain water. 10 means do something, the capacity to do something. In Hindi, 10 means किसी को करने की क्षमता. So, the plant cell and the unicellular freshwater organism have the capacity to gain water through the process of osmosis. Osmosis I have discussed in the earlier chapters. Absorption of water by plant root is also an example of osmosis. So, the roots of the plant which absorb water from the soil is also an example of osmosis. Thus, diffusion is important in exchange of gases and water in the life of a cell. As before I have told you in all the before topic in the before videos, I have told you that diffusion and osmosis are somewhat same. So here it is told that diffusion is diffusion is important in the exchange of gases and water in the life of cell. Means if diffusion will not occur in the cell, it is not possible for a cell to be live alive, as gases and water is necessary for the life of a cell, and diffusion help in this process. In addition to this, the cell also obtain nutrition from its environment. So not only it's important for the life of cell, rather than that, cell also obtain nutrition from its environment through the process of diffusion. Different molecules move in and out of the cell through a type of transport requiring use of energy. Means that the different molecules of the cell, they come inside of the cell and goes out of the cell through a type of transport requiring use of energy. Means if the diffusion will there, then the all the particles, that is molecules of the cell, will move in and out, and there for this there's a use of energy, and it's a transport requiring use of energy. Now come to the next paragraph. The plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules called lipid and protein. So plasma membrane is very flexible, means it can be moved in every direction in any shape, size, as well as it is made up of organic molecules. Plasma membrane is the outer covering of a cell. It is flexible and is made up of lipids and proteins, which are organic molecules. However, we can observe the structure of a plasma membrane only through electron microscope. Now, through a microscope, we can see the cell and its component. Not all, but somewhat component can be seen in the microscope. But this plasma membrane, which is the outer covering of a cell, is only seen under an electron microscope. Electron microscope is a very powerful microscope. The flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other material from its external environment. Means, as I have told you in the last paragraph, that plasma membrane is very flexible. It can be moved in any direction and in any shape. So with the help of this flexibility, the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, they engulf its food. Means they take its food. It helps them to take the food of its surrounding as well as other material from its external environment. And the process of this the process in which the flexibility of a cell membrane enables it to engulf or to take food in and other materials from its external environment is known as endocytosis. Okay, so this process is known as endocytosis. Amoeba acquires its food through such process. Means you can write the definition of endocytosis, and after that, for example, you can give its example as amoeba. So amoeba is a unicellular organism, and it can change its shape and size as what they want. And amoeba acquires means here amoeba takes its food through this process only, through the process of endocytosis. So here is the activity 5.5. Find about electron microscopes from resource in a school library or through the internet. Discuss it with your teacher. So this activity is done in your school only. So here the activity is about the electron microscope. Means you have to learn about the electron microscope, its structure, its use, and etc. And this is done either by your school library or by your internet. And after learning it, you can discuss it with your teacher. So now here there are two inside question, means two questions from what we have learned earlier. So the question is, how do substances like CO2 and water move in and out of the cell? So as what I have told you earlier also about, I have discussed about it. So here the question is asking, the gases the gas that is carbon dioxide and water. So there are two gases, and how they come inside and goes outside of the cell. So this is the question. So the answer would be through the process of diffusion, and it's asking discuss also. So you can give the reason as it comes inside and goes outside of the cell by the process of diffusion. In this process, if the concentration of carbon dioxide inside the cell is high and outside the cell is low, then the carbon dioxide will move outside the cell, and if the concentration of carbon dioxide is high outside the cell and low inside the cell, then it will become inside the cell. And if in water the concentration of water is high inside the cell and low outside the cell, then it will go outside, and if the concentration is high outside the cell and low inside the cell, then it will come inside. So like this you can elaborate it, you can discuss it. And now come to second question. Why is plasma membrane called a selectively permeable membrane? So the answer would be plasma membrane is called a selectively permeable membrane because plasma membrane allows or give the permission or permits to only some selected material to come inside the cell and goes outside the cell. Means as when if the oxygen is less inside the cell, then plasma membrane only allows oxygen to come inside the cell as there's pores on the plasma membrane. So through that the cell or the oxygen come inside the cell, and the gases like carbon dioxide, so they makes it out of the cell through that pores. Hence plasma membrane is called a selectively permeable membrane. So now come to 5.2.2, that is cell wall. Plant cell, in addition to plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called cell wall. Means, as we have learned that plant cell and animal cell have the outer covering named as plasma membrane, but in plant cell, rather than plasma membrane, we also have an outer rigid covering named as cell wall. But in animal cell, this cell wall is not present. Cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. Means, after the cell we have plasma membrane, and after the plasma membrane we have cell wall. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Means that the cell wall is made up of cellulose, as we have learned before that plasma membrane is made up of organic molecules named as lipid and protein, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. Now cellulose is a complex substance and provides structural strength to plant. So here it told that cell wall is a very complex substance, and it provides a structural strength to plant. And due to cell wall, there is a fixed shape of a plant cell. It is very complex and it provides a structural strength to the plant. When a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, there is a shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. So here it is telling that when a living cell plant loses water through osmosis, so there is a shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. As the process of osmosis, when there is high concentration inside the cell and low concentration outside the cell, then there will be a loss of water, and as due to the loss of water, the cell will shrink or it will contract away from and it will contract of the cell away from the cell wall, and this phenomena is known as plasmolysis. Now we can observe this phenomena by performing the following activity. So after performing activity, we can remember it or understand it more better, like what is plasmolysis. So it is activity 5.6. So now let's start. Mount the peel of a reho leaf in a water on a slide and examine cells under the high power of a microscope. Means reho leaf is a name of a plant's leaf. Okay, and then we have to take the peel of that leaf and keep it so we have to take that reho leaf, the peel of that reho leaf, and then there should be a drop of water on the slide, and then we have to keep that reho leaf there, and then we have to see that leaf under a high power of a microscope. Note the small green granules called chloroplast. Means on that leaf, the peel of that leaf, there will be small green color dots present, which is known as chloroplast. They contain a green color substance called chlorophyll. That is, under that green granules or the green dots, there's a green substance present, which is known as chlorophyll. Put a strong solution of sugar or salt on the mounted leaf of the slide. So then we have to take a strong solution of sugar or salt, and then we have to keep that solution on that leaf of the on that slide of the leaf. Wait for a minute and observe under a microscope. So now we have, after putting that solution, we have to wait for a minute, and then we have to observe that leaf, that peel of that leaf, under a microscope. What do we see? That's asking that after seeing under that microscope, what does we see? So now place some reho leaf in a boiling water for a few minutes. So after seeing this, okay, then we have to the other leaf in that boiling water, and for few minutes this kill the cell. So after keeping that leaf in a boiling water, the cells of that leaf will be killed. Then mount one leaf of the slide and observe it under a microscope. So after that we have to take mount the leaf of on the slide, and then we have to observe it under a microscope. And then again we have to put a strong solution of sugar or salt on the mounted leaf of the slide, and then we have to wait for a minute, and then again we have to observe it. Now it's asking what does we see, what have been find there, and it's asking that did plasmolysis occur now, that if the process of plasmolysis was occurring that time. So here is the answer. What do we infer from this activity? So what was the final result of this activity? It appeared that only living cell and not dead cell are able to absorb water by osmosis. So it says that the living cells and in non-living cells, so their living cell are able to absorb water by plasmolysis, means the living cell can do plasmolysis, but dead cell are not able, neither they are able to absorb osmosis, and as they are not able to absorb osmosis, they can't do plasmolysis. Cell wall permit the cell of plants, fungi and bacteria to withstand very dilute hypotonic external media without bursting. So here it is telling that the plant cell, the fungi cell and the bacteria cell, the cell wall of these all cell permits them to withstand a very dilute medium, that is the hypotonic medium, without bursting. Okay, so in this type of media, in such media the cells tend to take up water by osmosis. So in the dilute external media or in the hypotonic media, the cell has a capacity to take up water by the process of osmosis. In the cell swells, building up pressure against the cell wall. Okay, so when the cell swells means when the cell become bigger, they make pressure, they builds pressure against the cell wall. This wall exert an equal pressure against the swollen cell. So as the cell has been there, so they'll make an equal pressure against that swollen cell. Because of their walls, such cell can withstand much greater chance in the surrounding medium than animal cell. So as their walls, the cell wall, as a cell wall, sorry, because of their cell wall, these type of cell, that is the swollen type of cell, can do much greater chances, means they have more chances for the surrounding medium than animal cell, because they have because plant cell have cell wall and animal cell doesn't have cell wall. And cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose, which is a very complex substance, and cellulose provides the structural strength to the plant. So now this much is for today. From tomorrow, I'll make you understand or make you start from nucleus and rest other. So for today, bye. Have a nice day. Please like my video. Comment on it that what do you like the most and what you don't like. And if you have any question, please ask. And please share my video to your friends and to anyone you want to. And please subscribe my channel. Thank you and bye.